All throughout the year, Sylvan Lake veterans get together in an intimate environment at the Sylvan Lake Community Center to meet up, greet each other, exchange some stories, and build some camaraderie amongst veterans in our local community. They have another Veterans Coffee Meetup in a new location at the Grill on Orchard Lake Road and Middle Belt in Sylvan Lake coming up on Monday, February 12th. And joining us to talk about these Veterans Coffee Meetups are Bill Kulczak, an Army veteran from 1955 to 1961, and Kathleen Robbins, volunteer extraordinaire in the city of Sylvan Lake. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning.
Yeah, glad to have you both on to talk about these. Kathy, let's begin with you on this, because this is a volunteer-centered event that began to bring veterans in Sylvan Lake, which has quite a great population of veterans who have served our country together to meet and greet with each other. Tell us a little bit of the background of how these coffee meetups began.
Well, here in Sylvan Lake, we have 42 veterans, and we have experiences throughout the year with Memorial Day and a few other things. But after the last Memorial Day a year ago, 2 years ago, June now it will be, we had a conversation with Bill and Greg Miller about wouldn't it be nice to have a coffee meetup for vets by vets. And they ran with the idea. So we'll let Bill tell you a little bit more about it. And it started just the month after the Memorial Day recognition service, where we recognize, first of all, the killed in action and our 42 vets.
Good morning. The Veterans Coffee is an opportunity for vets in the area from all branches to gather and just enjoy each other's company. Our branches include the Army, there's Navy, and Coast Guard. And we talk about our times back then, in which case, you know what, this goes back 70 years or more. And but we enjoy the camaraderie and different parts of the world where we were all stationed in what we did. It's a nice together, about an hour and a half, and we do that monthly.
Yeah, and it's quite an amazing history lesson, both for those that have served our country throughout the different generations, but also a great opportunity for others that have had some similar experiences, but a variety of experiences serving our country. And so, for you as an Army veteran, how has this experience been like to be able to meet some of those other 41 veterans in the city of Sylvan Lake and others coming in and visiting during these events?
Well, it's interesting to hear from them because we all have our own story to tell. And gosh, I never realized this or hearing some of the duties that Greg Miller, for example, was on a tanker. So their job was to be out there on the high seas and refueling the big ships. And it's quite harrowing, some of the stories he would tell about doing that. Wow, it's rough seas, and then we have another member who was a Green Beret, and he has some harrowing stories to tell. So this is everyone has their job, and but we're all connected by the bond of the brotherhood of being in the military for our wonderful country.
Do you find, Bill, that it brings you closer to your community, too, to know that there are so many other people in Sylvan Lake and in nearby areas that have experienced the brotherhood of serving our country, and now you're able to make these new friends in the process of learning some of their stories and getting together month to month?
That's correct. It is. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable, and it's an opportunity to know the neighbors. Some of us have been here for a longer period than others, and here's a chance to see the man or the person you saw walking along the street now with, wow, they were in the military, and it's a nice way to make friends.
We're also joined by Kathy Robbins, a volunteer in the community who has helped in ways over the course of these past several months to plan these veterans meetups month to month. They got a special one coming up Monday, February 12th at 10 a.m. at the Grill in Orchard Lake. And Kathy, this time around, not just Sylvan Lake veterans or nearby veterans from cities right on the border of Sylvan Lake, but really opening this up to veterans all across the Lakes area. Why do this, and why now, after all these months with Sylvan Lake, expand it out and start bringing in even more veterans in the local community?
Well, it started off as a small group within our city, as you know, but the word gets out, and because our veterans are friends with other neighboring veterans, and they are sort of envious because they don't have this in their small community. Sylvan Lake is a small community, and in fact, we also share West Bloomfield at the Heroes Breakfast. We share Oakland County at the Veterans Resource Fair. So they include us. We want to include our neighboring veterans as well. We turn away no veterans. They all have good stories to tell. Their work is important, and we're grateful for that.
And Bill Kulczak with us, along with Kathy Robbins. Bill is an Army veteran serving from 1955 to 1961. They're both joining us on the Splash Live as we get ready for their Veterans Coffee Meetup at 10 a.m. Monday, February 12th at the Grill. That is on Orchard Lake Road, just north of Middlebelt in the city of Sylvan Lake. You cannot miss it. It'll be a great event. Coffee is free. Scratch-cooked breakfasts will also be available for purchase on that morning. And Bill, kind of circling back to really the whole point of this, which is to build camaraderie and some friendships among our veteran community in Sylvan Lake and here in the Lakes area. For a veteran like you, to have this experience, how important is it to be able to exchange these stories and be able to share this camaraderie with people who have had, at the very least, base a similar experience serving our country and know what that means to serve the United States?
Well, it just brings up the point that the different services have different jobs, and what I did, and hearing stories of some of the other guys, I'm thinking, boy, I didn't have it so bad, or maybe I had it better than I thought. So it's just a matter of understanding that, you know, we need the military to protect our country and to protect the Constitution, and it just, you know, glad that we do our part. I think that's the common theme when we talk about all our experiences.
Well, Bill, having had family serve in the Navy and the Air Force, extended family in the National Guard and the Army as well, I want to thank you for your service and for our freedom from that service that you've provided us over the years serving in the U.S. military with the Army. And thank you and Kathy for joining us and for planning these events to bring veterans together in our local community. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.